Gary Neville gives verdict on Erik ten Hag's Manchester United future and makes Sir Jim Ratcliffe claim. Erik ten Hag is under increasing pressure at Man United, despite reaching the FA Cup final on Sunday. Former Manchester United captain Gary Neville believes the Ineos Group will wait until the end of the season to make a decision on Erik ten Hag's future. The Dutchman, despite leading United to a second consecutive FA Cup final on Sunday, is under increasing pressure at Old Trafford. Despite getting the better of Coventry City at Wembley, United limped over the line, having squandered a 3-0 lead in the final 25 minutes. United prevailed on penalties, winning 4-2, meaning they have progressed to their second successive FA Cup final and will face Manchester City. Though United have achieved their ambition of reaching the final, supporters left Wembley asking yet more questions about the team and its manager. United's chaotic style of play is becoming unsustainable, meaning it feels inevitable that Ineos, who are governed by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, will decide to make a change in the dugout ahead of next season. Speculation, however, has been mounting about the possibility of Ten Hag being axed ahead of the end of this season. Neville, though, believes Ratcliffe will wait until the season has reached its conclusion, telling Sky Sports, "The most important thing at the start of the day was that Manchester United joined Manchester City in that second Manchester derby on the bounce at Wembley in a few weeks. It's unbelievable really, this team never cease to amaze you with the things they are not capable of. I'm confused, not knowing what stage of the journey we're on and what the idea is in terms of style of play. We still don't know where we're going and we've had this before in the last 10, 12 years. If you think what Ineos have done since they came in, they've essentially wiped out the whole top of the club. If they thought anything there was worth keeping, they would have kept it. They'll make the decision on the manager and the players at the end of the season. They were never going to sack Ten Hag in the middle of the season. But they've made huge structural changes and that's the most potent thing, a sign that they weren't happy with what they were seeing at the top of the club. I don't think that will stop. There's going to be some upheaval and turbulence for some time to come." Jose Mourinho takes swipe at current members of Manchester United's dressing room. Jose Mourinho was sacked as Man United manager in 2018, but there are multiple players from his reign still at Old Trafford. Jose Mourinho has revealed there are still a couple of players at Manchester United who he wanted to sell when he was manager at Old Trafford. Mourinho was sacked as United boss in December 2018, but there are 6 players who he coached that have survived the managerial changes since his departure. Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial and Diogo Dalot all played under Mourinho and have played an active role during Erik ten Hag's tenure. Mourinho was prepared to sell Martial in the summer of 2018 as he wanted to leave, but a departure was blocked by the club and he's now into his 9th season at United. Martial's time at United is finally coming to an end, as he will leave at the end of the campaign upon the expiry of his deal, but the 5 other players are under contract. In an interview with The Telegraph this week, Mourinho reflected on his time at United and revealed there are still a few players at the club he wanted to sell. "My relationship with former chief executive Ed Woodward was good," said Mourinho. "Good as in the personal point of view. Even now we send an SMS. But from a professional point of view it was not the best. I am who I am. I am a football man. Ed comes from a different background and what Ten Hag has in his time at Manchester United I didn't have. I didn't have that level of support. I didn't have that level of trust. So I left sad, because I felt I was in the beginning of the process. In some moments, I felt if they trusted me and believed in my experience things could be different. There are still a couple of players still there I didn't want 5 or 6 years ago. I think they represent a little bit what I consider not the best professional profile to a club of a certain dimension. But I did my job there. Time always tells the truth. I would love Manchester United to succeed." Mourinho was asked about Paul Pogba, who has been banned from football for 4 years for a doping offence, and said he was sad to see the Frenchman's predicament. "The only thing I say is that it happens with almost everybody in some moments of your career. You lose a little bit the sense of who you are and what you have to be," Mourinho said. The season after France won the 2018 World Cup, I think Paul came back different. The World Cup brought him into a dimension where football was not the most important thing for him. Sharing the philosophy of everyone with the same level of responsibilities. I am not enjoying Paul's situation at all. There was a power struggle between Mourinho and Pogba during his time in charge, and he believes the club's backing of the midfielder made his position vulnerable. When you are supported by the power, by the hierarchy, the message that passes through is very positive in the group, he said. When you are not supported, because the player is more important or what the player represents is more important, then you are in a fragile situation. Even if you are a coach with so much experience as was my case. I used some tricks. Andre Onana opens up on Manchester United penalty shootout heroics. Andre Onana played a key role in Man United's FA Cup semi-final shootout victory over Coventry, making a save and getting a booking. Andre Onana admits he used some provocation and tricks during Manchester United's penalty shootout win over Coventry. United prevailed 4-2 in the shootout after Coventry duo Callum Maher and Ben Sheaf failed from 12 yards with the Championship side's third and fourth kicks. Coventry led the shootout 2-1 after Casemiro's unsuccessful opening effort, but Onana saved a hair's hit and Sheaf skied his attempt. Onana was booked for gamesmanship before Sheaf stepped up, having been carded during the 90 minutes for time wasting. Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez collected 2 yellow cards in their Europa Conference League shootout victory over Lille on Thursday, and Onana knew he could not be sent off as yellow cards are wiped out before a penalty shootout. Before the penalties, I knew before that my first yellow card had been cancelled, so I was aware of the rules, Onana told the Manchester Evening News. I had to make some provocation to some players and to use my tricks to win the game, so I'm happy for that, laughs. It's a mixed feeling, of course. The most important thing is the victory, that we won. It's a difficult situation because we had the game under control and with some individual mistakes we gave the ball away. But we learn from those mistakes and we have to continue working hard. A lot of things are happening this season. If you put everything on the table, we can speak about everything. Injuries, playing with bad leg, but they are not excuses, no? Missing a lot of important players as well, and it's difficult, so such a big club with such big players to play without. There have now been 30 goals in the 80th minute and onwards in United's 90-minute matches this season, and Coventry became the latest side to score an equalising or winning goal against United beyond the 90th minute. United's knack for conceding goals in quick succession also occurred as Coventry scored in the 71st and 79th minute to reduce the deficit to 1 goal, approaching the dying embers of the 90-minute contest. Onana suggested United must be more dominant in possession. I don't pay much attention to how many shots we concede or stuff like that, because at the end of the day it's about winning, and today we won, so I have to look forward, Onana opined. Having more possession and be more dominant on the ball. We will play a very good team who are very good with the ball, but they have a big problem when they don't have the ball, so we want to make them run. We have a big responsibility. I start with myself, like I always say, we are here to take all the bullets, you know. When things are not going good I will point fingers to big players, you know. Bruno, Fernandes, Harry, Maguire, we have big responsibility, of course. Everything was under control and in the end we gave away goals away. It's more us than other people. We always have to improve, we are Manchester United. We are still the biggest club in the country, so it doesn't matter what we play, we will come back here to win. Is Andre Onana suspended from Manchester United's FA Cup final vs Man City? Andre Onana